It's just like problem number 1, but if you notice that the signs are alternating. In other words, it's going from a positive number to a negative number. From a positive number to a negative number. That usually means that my common ratio is negative. That's the only way I can go from positive to negative, negative to positive. And I think it's -5 because that's what we had last time. Let's double check though. When we did problem 1, it's the same numbers except that their signs didn't alternate. So now I'm going to try and double check that on my calculator. So I'm going to start off with the first term, which is 3 times -5. Okay? I'm going to hit enter. Sure enough, I get -15. I'm going to take that and multiply that by -5. Sure enough, I get positive 75. Do it again, I get -375. If I do it again, I get positive 1875. So first of all, my common ratio is -5. And then my next 3 terms are going to be 1875, positive 1875. If I hit my multiply that by -5, I get negative 9,375. Then if I hit enter one more time, I get a positive 46,875. So those are my next 3 terms. Okay? Now, to get my explicit form, remember that it's going to be a sub n is equal to a sub 1, that's my first term, times the common ratio raised to the n minus 1. Did we write this formula down once before? Absolutely. Do I want you to write it down a second time? Absolutely. Because I want it to be committed to your memory. So write it down. If I don't see it on your worksheet, I'm handing you the worksheet back and you got to write it down. You can grab any math book in this building. I've memorized every formula in every math book, every formula in every physics book, because I write down the formulas every time I do a problem. So I don't want you to stumble over a formula when you take the SAT. So write it down today. So now a sub n is equal to a sub 1, which is 3, times the common ratio, which is -5. I'm going to put in parentheses n to the -1. Now I want to double check that. What do you guys suggest? Raise your hand if you have a suggestion on how to double check my formula. Put it in the calculator for sure. But which term do we want to solve for?
The 859.
Well, we could do that, and that's why the student said let's do the 859th term. We could do that, but let's do one that we already know the value for. So I'm going to choose 75, which is the third term. So I'm going to say a sub 3. So wherever there's an n, I'm going to plug in a 3. Now we know that 3 minus 1 is 2, but I want to show you a little trick here. If I turn on my calculator and I say 3 times, then start parentheses, -5, close my parentheses, raise to the start another set of parentheses, 3 minus 1, close parentheses. Do you see how I have all that on my calculator? It's kind of small. Now if I hit enter, it should give me 75, and it does.